Welcome, Hordlings, to Chapter 4 of the Black Mirror. Forgotten Bound.
Samuel, you have returned sooner than I expected. How are things in Wales? Is Eleanor well?
Yes, she's quite well. I gave her your letter.
Thank you, Samuel.
I can hear uncertainty in your voice. Has something gone wrong?
I'm afraid it has, my dear. Bates, you tell Samuel. I do not want to speak about it myself.
Who died now?
Yes, madam. First, about Sir Robert. He went away the night you left for Wales, sir. Just before he left, he told me he had to go to Ashbury on an urgent matter.
I know. I spoke with him about it. Did something happen in the sanatorium?
Unfortunately, sir, I do not know. Sir Robert did not return home that night. In fact, we have had no news of him since then.
Maybe he had to stay there. He told me he had a lot of work.
That is what we thought too, but the head nurse told us he left the gates of Ashbury just before midnight.
That's strange indeed.
He would often stay at the sanatorium for several days in a row, but he would always let us know. We do not know what could have happened.
Bates, do not speak like this.
I'm sorry, madam. I did not mean it that way.
We'll wait until this evening and then call the sanatorium. Maybe Robert will have returned by then.
Bates, you started to say, first, about Sir Robert. Is there anything I should know?
Yes, sir. I just don't know if I can speak about it in front of madam.
Oh, go ahead, Bates. The thought is inevitable anyway.
All right, then. Detective Collier showed up this morning. I thought he had come because of Henry's drowning, but I was mistaken. Someone from the village found a body of a boy in the woods. Collier came here to inform us only. This time he spared us his questions.
A body of a boy? What happened to him?
Detective Collier suggested that the boy had been killed by the wolves.
Did he mention the place where it happened?
No, I did not want to ask him about anything.
Oh, I understand.
Too much evil has come to us within the last 2 days. Do not know what is going on, Samuel. Now please excuse me. I do not want to talk about this any longer.
Yes, I understand. I'll probably go to my room.
I lit up your fireplace already this morning, sir. It's very cold today.
Robert said something about a runaway patient before he left. Robert and that boy. Indeed, some very strange things have been happening around here lately.
Yes, they have. Let's go ahead and head back to the village. The 3 kegs in. And of course, it's a new chapter. That means we have new dialogue with
Gordon,
everyone.
Have you heard what happened?
Yes, I have.
Poor boy. And I was so mean to him. I hope someone kills that beast of a wolf real soon. I'll hang its stuffed coat above the door. You can count on that.
How do you know it was a wolf?
Well, what else could it be? It was a wolf, that's for sure.
Maybe. There's no reason to. I need to talk to you.
Go ahead, but make it quick.
Have you heard what happened?
Yeah, it's terrible. You know, I don't get distressed easily. But this boy, I feel sorry for him. They found him torn to pieces. Those damn beastly wolves. I'd like to see traps set all over the place. And shoot whatever the traps don't take care of.
Where did it happen?
Close to the old mines, right around that bloody altar.
Stonering?
Yes, there. That place is haunted, that's for sure. It was once the sacred ritual place of the druid wizards. It's an evil place. Poor little Vic.
Stonering. I used to play there as a child too. I should go have a look around there.
We can now head to the Stone Ring.
From Willow Creek, I set my steps towards the dark woods at the edge of our manor. My thoughts were with the ritual place of the ancient druids, Stonering.
Mr. Gordon, may I ask what you are doing here? Why have you come to this place?
Why, though? Is it important to you?
Maybe. Who knows?
I can go wherever I want. These are my lands, detective.
That's true. Strange that we should meet again at a place where a tragedy has occurred. Don't you think?
No, I don't. I'm trying to understand what is going on here. Just like you.
This is police work, Mr. Gordon. Things have been getting more and more complicated recently, and I don't need more added confusion. No offense intended.
None taken. I quite understand. Can you at least describe to me what happened?
Oh well, since you've come this far, I suppose I should tell you what I know. But first, you tell me what you already know, so I'm not wasting my time.
I only know that they found the body of a young boy here, and it appears that he was killed by wolves.
Then you know almost all that I do. There is not much more I can add to that. The boy probably wandered too far from the village last night. Very imprudent. When the wolves attacked him, he was trying to escape. Unfortunately, the furious beasts got to the unlucky lad. You know the rest already.
Don't you find it odd that the bloodstains are only on that big stone in the middle?
I'd say the boy was trying to run to a higher place, but it was no help. That's all I'm willing to tell you. Gordon, I don't want you to speak about this with anyone else, you understand? People know way too much already, and I don't want to be adding to any scary, tall stories.
I'll keep it to myself.
Good.
If it was
I
wolves,
need to
they would have
reflect
ripped that
on
little
what
fucker
matters.
all over the place.
Of course.
The fucking arms
Would you
and
mind
legs
if I
and
had a
toes
look around here?
and nose here and
What
there.
makes you so interested in all this? You wouldn't happen to know
Little
anything
kid would
I
look like
do.
scrambled eggs.
Of course not.
You would tell me if that were the case, right?
Of course not.
Certainly.
Very
I
well
mean,
then.
certainly.
Do whatever you want here. I have no reason to ask you to leave.
Have you found out anything new about Henry's death?
Yes, a new fact has come to light that has made things clearer to me. I was just about to close the case, but then I spoke with the pathologist.
Dr. Herman?
It seems that Mr. Stanton did not die by suffocation, or drowning for that matter.
How did he die then?
Herman has not been able to determine the exact cause yet. He has not arrived at a conclusive assessment yet, so I gave him some more time. What's certain, though, is that Stanton's lungs were not full of water, as is common with drowning. You see what this could mean if it were confirmed.
Not quite, Detective.
It would mean that he died somewhere else, and his body was carried and dumped into the fountain.
Another murder, then.
Doubtless, should Herman confirm his theory. I will not tell you anything else. You know more than necessary already. I would, however, like to ask you something. Just a routine, you see, Gordon.
Yes, go ahead.
I have only one question. Where were you yesterday at about this time?
Well, if you must know, I was visiting my relatives at a remote manor in Wales.
And what was the purpose of that visit?
Well, just a family visit, nothing special. Why are you interested?
Just a routine question, Gordon.
But that's all for now.
All right.
So much blood. So this is where little Vic died. Blood on the stone hasn't even dried yet.
Poor little Vic. Never got to use his prick.
One of 3 menhirs that form a triangle around the altar. The stones may have played a role in the druids' rituals.
The menhir. And it's another symbol.
Another symbol. Done. Strange. The plant that's clinging to it looks burnt. Detective,
Yes?
I have had a look around this place, and I've noticed something. You might be interested in this.
Yes? I'm listening.
There is a symbol of some sort over there on that big stone to the left.
Yes, I've seen it. It could have been here for years, maybe even longer.
Oh, I don't think so.
Why do you say that?
I don't know. Just wondering. I may be mistaken.
I do not think it's connected to this unfortunate matter.
Well, forget it then. It probably means nothing.
Right. It's probably an old sign that had a common meaning in these parts.
But that's all for now.
All right.
There are many such as these in the forest. A small piece of cloth is sticking from under the leaves. The detective probably doesn't know about it. Green fern. I can't pick it up now. Collier would see I found something. I've got to distract him somehow.
Time for a little decoy.
One of the many stones around the altar. Perhaps they were once used to form a circle around the altar. This should keep the detective busy for a while. Detective,
Yes?
I found something that may interest you. There is a stain here on the stone behind you. I think it might be blood.
Where exactly is it?
Right behind you.
Turn around,
On the right.
Dingleberry.
Oh, thanks for warning me. I didn't notice it at first.
You're welcome.
Because I just dumped it out there.
Here is my chance. I have to pick up the handkerchief while he is distracted.
I will if you shut
elsewhere.
up.
The Gordon symbol is embroidered in the cotton. How could the handkerchief have gotten there?
All right, let's head to Herman's house.
I should...
Yes?
Samuel Gordon, please let me in, Doctor. I need to speak to you.
Yes, come in. I am downstairs, in the morgue.
Okay, good. Gonna grab some deli meat out of the fridge. Have myself a quick snack. Oh, hey, doctor.
Mr. Gordon, to what do I owe your visit today?
Good afternoon, Doctor. I have come to ask you about something.
Oh, would you believe that does not actually surprise me? In fact, I sensed that you would show up. You have come because of that poor boy, correct?
Yes, mainly.
So, what do you want to know?
Looks like he had his leg chewed off.
I spoke with Collier about that boy. We were standing at the place where it happened. He didn't tell me much, other than the boy was killed by
Guys,
wolves.
the boy is right there and you're talking
Yes,
about him. That's rude.
That was the original theory. The wounds were suggestive of an animal's assault. After a closer analysis, however, I can safely reject that possibility.
So you have a different opinion?
Yes, I have. The cause of death was severe blood loss and critical injuries of numerous organs. No animal living in these lands would be capable of doing this. Not injuries like these.
What about an entire pack of wolves?
The signs on the body are clear. No traces of sharp teeth bites, nothing like that.
So do you have a possible explanation?
I do not exactly know yet, but the boy was certainly not killed by wolves or any other animal. Of that, I'm positive.
Tell me, when did you last see Robert?
Some 3 days ago, I think. If you are looking for him, it is best to call the sanatorium. He is there constantly.
No one has seen him in a while, and Victoria is becoming worried. I just wondered whether he had been here lately.
Oh, he has not been here for quite some time. But then again, there is no purpose to his visit as far as I can tell. The last time I saw him was after William's funeral, and not since.
If you hear anything about him, please let us know.
Certainly.
Dr. Herman,
Yes?
have you found out anything new regarding that strange thing you told me about?
Do you mean Henry's body? No, I have not. I need much more time for that.
Alright, let's go ahead and head back to the castle.
Morris, do you have a moment?
Sure.
Morris, what do you know about that dead boy they found in the woods?
Me? I don't know anything about him. But I'll tell you this. Some pretty weird things have been happening around here lately. Some damn strange things indeed.
I will go then.
All right, sir.
That wasn't super helpful.
There's a letter in it. Maybe Bates forgot to pick it up. I'll take it. Dear Father, hopefully it will be your hands that my letter reaches first.
I cannot endure staying locked away in this horrible place. Therefore, I have decided to do what I should have done a long time ago. I will explain everything when we meet at our place. I know that you will understand. James.
Father, so James is William's son. Why didn't Victoria tell me when we spoke before?
That old wrinkly bitch is hiding something. Wrinkles! Wrinkles, where are your wrinkles? I'll have words with you. First I gotta find liver spots. There he is.
Bates?
Master Bates?
Yes, sir?
I'd like to speak with Victoria. Do you know where she is?
Madam has gone to her room to rest, sir. I do not think she wants to be disturbed.
Oh, all right.
I'll head right on up.
I think I will go.
I'll
I don't think she wants to be disturbed. Okay, cool. I'm headed right up there. I've been walking around in goddamn rain for 4 chapters. I really don't give a shit what she wants. I'm permanently wet. Yo, Rinks, open up.
May I speak with you for a while, Victoria?
Of course, Samuel.
I'm concerned about Robert.
I appreciate your concern. I spoke with the sanatorium's head nurse a few minutes ago. She had no news of him whatsoever. I'm worried, Samuel. Something strange is going on. I fear something may have happened to him.
I'm sure Robert will manage.
Do not underestimate this, Samuel. He is my oldest son, and then I have no one left but you.
I'm quite sure nothing has happened to him. Everything will get sorted out soon.
I hope you are right. I cannot wait in uncertainty any longer. We must do something. I would like you to go to Ashbury to find out what happened. Here we wait in darkness, and I have no one else that can go. Will you do it for me, Samuel?
Of course. I'll set off straight away.
No, please do not go in the middle of the night. It will be better to go in the morning.
I don't mind traveling at night, and it is best that I go as soon as possible.
Are you certain?
The sooner I find out something, the better.
All right, then. But please take care of yourself, will you, Samuel?
You needn't worry. I must go to Ashbury and figure out what happened. Victoria, I found a letter in which James writes to William. He addresses him as Dear Father. So who is James, in fact?
Oh well, it does not matter anymore anyway. It is true, Samuel. James is William's illegitimate son. I could not tell you before when you showed me that picture. I didn't want anyone to know. This secret must be buried along with William.
I understand.
Would you please excuse me now, Samuel?
His name is James Snow. Alright, we should be able to travel to Ashbury.
I set off for Ashbury to find out why Robert hadn't returned yet. Someone has to know something about him there. The Ashbury Sanatorium, the place of laments as William used to call it.
Hello?
I know this is an awkward hour, but can you let me in? I would like to visit one of the patients.
No shit.
Do not allow anyone in at this time. I'm sorry. You will have to come during regular visiting hours.
Tomorrow will be too late. Please, let me in and I'll explain everything.
Oh, are you a doctor?
No, I'm not.
Who have you come to visit then, in the middle of the night?
I've come because of Robert Gordon. He is the director here.
Yes, I happen to know who's director here, Mr.
Samuel Gordon. I'm sorry. I forgot to introduce myself.
Very well then. I'll make an exception, Mr. Gordon. Push the gate open when you hear the buzzer and go straight to the main entrance. I will be expecting you in the lobby.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me in.
Well, I would not have let you in if you weren't a relative of the head doctor.
Yes, actually, he is what I'm here about. You see, he hasn't shown up for a couple of days now, and I was hoping you might know something.
I'm afraid I will have to disappoint you then. He left the sanatorium the day before yesterday, late at night, and has not turned up again since.
Are you sure?
Of course. I have been on duty every day.
What time did he leave?
Around midnight, I believe. He always leaves quite late. He has had a lot of work to do lately.
Did he mention where he was going, or say anything unusual?
Give me a minute. No, I don't recall him saying anything special. In fact, he was very tired. Just said goodnight and left.
I would like to visit a patient named James. Can you show me to his cell?
No, that's not possible, Mr. Gordon.
Can't you let me in?
Unfortunately, you will not be able to visit him, no matter what I could or could not do.
I don't understand.
Don't you know? James escaped the night before yesterday. I thought someone had told you.
No, I didn't know. How did he escape?
He must have gotten into the sewer system under the building. It should have occurred to me that he might do something like this.
Crazy James.
Why? Did he say something to you?
Yes, I spoke to him the day before. He seemed much more anxious than usual. But there was more to it. I don't know if I can tell you. It is a delicate situation.
Please speak. It might be important. Maybe it will shed some light on the whole matter with Robert.
Do you think it may be related?
I don't have a clue. Please tell me what you know.
All right. James was more anxious than usual, as I said. It was hard to understand what he was trying to tell me. But it was the head doctor that he was speaking about. He said he knew something important, but he could not tell anyone what it was.
Did he say what it was exactly?
No. It seemed to me that he was afraid to talk. He kept asking me to put in a word for him with one of the doctors so he could go home. But he insisted that I not mention it to the head doctor. He acted quite desperate, so I promised I would help him.
What happened then?
Well, James does tend to be very moody, but I would not say that he is dangerous. I have known him for years now, and most of the time he has made very little trouble. So I went to the head doctor to ask him for a temporary leave permit for James.
But you said he didn't want Robert to know.
I had to promise that, but without the signature of the head doctor, no patient can leave this place. He didn't agree, though, and defended his opinion quite firmly. It seemed rather strange to me. Such rigidity, I mean.
Did you speak with James after that?
No, I didn't want to further disconcert him. And the next day, he escaped. I cannot tell you anything more. I have no idea why he wanted to go back home so suddenly.
You have been quite helpful. Thank you.
Why would James want to get away so desperately and suddenly? And why didn't Robert allow him to return to the castle? It seems to me that these things are related somehow.
That's all. Thanks. Terrible weather.
Yep, been like this for a while now, in case you haven't noticed.
A sewer. Maybe the main output of the ventilation system of the building. Old junk destroyed by wind and rain. There's no point messing with it. A few beer bottles, old containers, and rusty cans. Just rubbish. A syringe. Looks quite clean.
Careful with that. Looks clean doesn't mean shit.
Who the hell is that? Nurse, is that you again? I'm heating the place like I'm supposed to. Not one of those crackpots of yours is freezing. Don't you worry. The boiler is running full blast, so leave me alone.
This is Samuel Gordon. Can you open the door?
Who?
I'd just like to ask you about something.
Yeah? What do you want from me?
My Uncle Robert runs this institution. Can you let me in?
I couldn't care less about who's running this booby hatch. I don't belong to the doctor bunch, and I don't have to obey old Gordon. Give me a break and mind your own business.
All right, but I just need to find something out. Then I'll be gone.
Oh well, okay, what do you want?
It seems to be quite hot inside. Are you heating at full power?
There's no other way when the weather's like this. I'll sit here the whole day and night in this awful heat.
Well, you can turn it down a little, can't you?
Impossible. They've just installed this new regulator. It takes care of maintaining the right temperature by itself. If it could also do the shoveling for me, I'd have one less thing to worry about.
So why don't you just leave the door open?
Well, that's another problem. I don't want the nurse checking up on me. She comes by to have a peek inside here from time to time to see whether I'm asleep or something. When the door is closed, I can cool myself down with beer whenever I want.
I see.
Good gig. Minus the swamp ass.
Have you seen Dr. Gordon recently?
No, I haven't. I'm closed. Nobody ever comes round here anyway, except the head nurse. I last saw him about a month or so ago. Yeah, last month. It was Thursday, I think. No, not after that. But you said you were his nephew, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Well, then it's you who should know where he is.
What do you know about the runaway patient?
There was a lot of confusion about his escape here. Haven't a clue why they made so much fuss over one silly loony.
The loony happens to be my relative, so you had better keep those insults to yourself. I bet he can pronounce the whole alphabet, unlike you.
Calm down, would ya? I couldn't have known he's your relative.
Now, why I asked. You know this place well, right?
Sure. I've worked here for some years now.
If you wanted to get outside, how would you do it?
Listen, these are some odd questions, you know. Aren't you an inspector or something like that?
Yes, of course. I'm carrying out a midnight checkup of sanatorium security from the boilerman's viewpoint. Come on, I'm no inspector. So what is the simplest way out?
Well, I have no idea why you're interested in this, but I don't think there's a simple way out. Maybe from the hall, into the sewers under the building. Other than that, I don't know. If you manage to get that far, the rest wouldn't be a problem. The sewer has several openings that nobody's watching. Why are you asking anyway?
That's none of your business.
Right.
I have to see the cell from the inside. If it's impossible to get out, as everyone says, how could James have escaped without someone having helped him? But who could have helped him? That nurse, maybe. Or Robert himself. Robert's disappearance is surely connected with James somehow. I won't be keeping you any longer.
Good.
Rude. All right. We got a graveyard over here.
Everyone who died within the walls of the sanatorium rests here. A gloomy place. It hides a few flickering candles from the rain. The resting place of someone of a noble family. The metal doors have no locks to prevent just anyone from entering.
Boom! Did I get you? I know I got someone.
A coal bucket. It's empty. A few bottles of beer. The labels are not very damp. The bottles haven't been outlawed.
Got chugging like the game hoarder.
You again?
May I speak with you? I see you have a decent supply of beer. What if the head nurse saw those bottles?
No big deal. You can see them outside. As long as she doesn't catch me with one in my hands, she has nothing to complain about.
What do you know about the graveyard at the back of the sanatorium?
Well, it's a graveyard.
Do they bury patients there?
Nah, not anymore. But I wouldn't go there if I were you. Especially not now. I'm no coward. But one never knows what can happen.
What do you think I should be afraid of?
No graveyard is suitable for a midnight walk. Especially not this one. You have any idea who all's lying there? Lunatics, maniacs, madmen. You name their twist, they're there. But why am I telling you this anyway? Go where you like.
I won't be keeping you any longer.
Good.
Alright, let's go see if we've unlocked some dialogue from the Nursey. Nursey Pooh.
May I speak with you?
Sure.
Can you tell me anything about the Sanatorium Graveyard?
I have worked here for almost 12 years now, and I know next to nothing about it.
Has it always belonged to the sanatorium?
As far as I know, it has. We no longer use it for burying, but it would have served its purpose in the past. Many patients would spend their whole life here, and when their time came, they would be buried at the back of the sanatorium. But that was a long time before I started here. I do not know much else about that place.
I need a little time here without being watched.
Could you possibly do me a favor? I'd like to make a call to the manor to check if anything has changed regarding Robert. If you could show me where the phone is...
I'm sorry, I can't let you inside. But I could call myself.
Right. Here's the number then.
I do not need it. It is in the internal phone book. Wait here.
Okay, Mrs. Fancy Pants.
All right. I need to do this quickly before she returns.
What are we doing? Okay, can click on that. Let's click on that.
The cabinet is locked. The label doesn't ring a bell.
Alright, we stole a vase.
It has a slot of some kind at the bottom. There are some coins in it. The coin fits in the groove at the bottom. A little key was hidden there.
Voila.
A strong sedative will put a person to sleep for a whole day.
And that's all we needed. Please.
It took a while. No one was answering the phone this late.
No problem. Did you learn anything about Robert?
Unfortunately, Mr. Gordon has not returned yet.
I see. Thank you for your time.
You are quite welcome. It was nothing.
That's all. Thanks. I spilt a little, but the syringe is full of sedative now. I'll go with full dose, so it kicks in fast.
Gonna kill this guy.
Now, get him to drink it. I'll have a look. The middle rod seems to be loose. Maybe I could pull it out somehow. This must be the thermostat regulating the temperature of the ventilation. I can't see any controls on it. I can't reach it. I can't...
Well, can't smash out any more brick.
I can't...
Alright folks, that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Stay tuned for more of the Black Mirror.